Ever since the core of this Brazilian roster played under the organisation Kaboom, they've always been very dangerous on Mirage. One thing they've adapted or to recently, months, years you could even say, is this A-site retake. They're very good at setting up for it. As you can see right now, they've got no one actually on the site, and they're very comfortable in this retake. Fallen obviously out here towards the jungle, moving into the stair position, and Bolts is just jiggling around here in CT. Basically just any information, but they can easily be locked out by the smokes as you're about to see. That's exactly what happens. The CT, jungle, stairs, smoke, the very standard ones all come in and they're both locked out of the site. Bolts does a good job with the counter molly, and you'll notice he's just spraying through the smoke a little bit. If you look at the rest of the map now, you have a look at what everyone else is doing. Fallen's just fallen back towards here CT. Fur and Cold Zero just start clearing out middle. They want to make sure that actually the whole attack is isolated here. Same with Taka. He hasn't moved an inch. His attack has been going down for ages. They hear the bomb start to go down, and this is exactly when Taka moves. Fur is still making sure no one's underpass. Cold Zero is watching top middle. And then they start going for their retake. No one's rotated really early because they know we're retaking this. We're not trying to fight this. We'll let them get the bomb down. Then we're going to retake this very comfortably, and it's how they often really do it. Now as this continues, 3 players have been caught here, well not caught here, but they've all gathered here towards the CT spawn kind of area. Cold Zero here is going to catch the player towards middle, extremely patient because the flank does actually come in, a very standard thing when you have 4 or more players alive on the T side, as there are limited spots. And you notice all the players come in here now, and they all just pick an angle and they'll watch it. Cold Zero fights off jungle, Taco's got Palace, and Fallen's got the A ramp area. Cold Zero loses, but then the other 2 players left alive are able to swing out to the jungle area where they know Cajun B is and protect Bolts defusing the bomb. So that was an awful lot to take in, right? A lot of editing by me. Probably over-edited it, but whatever. You guys let me know in the comments below. So we look at how Bolts responds. Very standard Molotov comes out as this take comes in, and watch how he jiggle sprays this, I guess. He's just shooting 3 or maybe 5 bullets at a time. Good nade usage here, and he's trying to get this 1 kill through the smoke, because if you can turn this into a 5v4, that's actually a huge advantage. That's actually what it ends up doing there, is he catches MSL off, actually the bomb carrier in this situation. And yeah, one thing to notice is just quickly he's jiggling when he's shooting. He's not sitting out there unloading his whole clip. He's just shooting a few bullets at a time, just reduces the chance of him getting caught off and dying, because they obviously want the 5 players left alive for this retake scenario. And there's never any doubt in SK's mind. They know they're going to retake this. Fur isn't trying to move here quickly across middle, maybe trying to fight anyone from jungle. He's just going to sit here and make sure that no one's connected. And what they want to do is they want to make sure that no one's flanking, so when they're on this retake, they can concentrate on the areas they need to concentrate on. The A mains, the palace, those kind of areas. They don't want to be having to worry about behind. That's their main priority when they start this takeoff. So obviously Fur peak middle, then with Cold Zero, someone could be lurking top middle, very common, and now underpass. The other spot, because both these areas are very good to quickly move into connector when you need to as a T player and go for some kind of flank. So Fur starts to move in here towards the connector, and he's just assuming this is a position getting ready to retake. Cold Zero, however, is still worried about this possible mid presence, because it's very common for a player, especially with 4 or more players live on the T side, to run back around out A main and trying to go for this flank, and that's exactly what happens here. And he catches the player completely off guard. Taco was of course doing the exact same thing, holding B up some massive long flank until he hears the bomb go down. So now what I call the actual retake part, I guess. It starts with Fur here. He's going to use utility very well. You see he's the one with all the utility. Smoke fires, mollies off Firebox, my favourite place to Molotov off. I 100% agree with this. And then he just smokes off Palace, very smart. And he gets caught off by the player in Cajun B, who they're not expecting to be pushed up into Palace. So if I pause this retake right now, we can start to appreciate just how good of a character Jar Jar Binks was in the Star Wars series. But more than that, we can also appreciate how well SK have set themselves up for this retake in general. Obviously the main thing being that Fur is cleared underpass, there's no one flanking there, and Cold Zero has been incredibly patient to take out this flanker top middle. This would give them maybe, I'd say, a 99% chance, 99% insurity, I guess, that no one's going to be flanking them behind, and they can concentrate fully on what they need to do here. They can concentrate on the clearing out the sight angles, and not have to worry about someone peeking up connector and shooting them in the back. And the trade-off for this is basically they're a little bit low on time at the moment. Maybe when other teams would have started going for their retake, you can see they're still all to the side. All 3 of these players haven't crossed this line yet, haven't crossed past the ticket area. Now obviously Fur has just gone down to Cajun B. This was the, I guess you'd call it the trump card for North. I don't know. It's just a little I guess aggressive thing they tried out, and it actually worked out pretty well to start off with. They managed to catch Fur off guard. However, his position is now obviously compromised. They know exactly where it is. The call would have come out from Fur. So SK, knowing that no one's flanking middle, they're going to presume there isn't 2 in jungle. I mean, that would be really freaky. So they're going to guess there's going to be 1 in Palace, 1 in A main, or possibly 2 A mains. Another scenario. They've mollied out New Box. Fur did a very good job of that. I guess there could be 1 under Palace or Sandwich. But you see they're going to clear this out and put themselves in a position to deal with basically all these angles all at once and allow Bolts to jump on the bomb. Now coldzera's job, once they learn KGB's in this position, is he could potentially ruin this retake. So his job is just to make sure that he can't basically annoy and get in the way of the rest of his teammates clearing out the rest of site like they need to. And he does that quite well. Even though he goes down with that smoke and that little jiggle, he buys just enough time for his teammates to do what they need to do. So you can see here, when Fur goes down, they actually were planning on pushing with him as they all come over ticket booth right now. And as coldzera is doing the job he needs to do, you'll see they move into a position, particularly Taco and Fallen, to deal with all the potential people that could peek out onto bolts. And you'll be thinking, well, how'd they do that? They didn't really push anyone onto site, they only pushed a triple box besides bolts. And the reason for that is, from the triple box position, you can basically peek anywhere towards T-spawn on the A site. You see, obviously, Taco is out here, watching this kind of angle, and basically he's able to catch anyone off guard coming at Palace. Even if someone tried to swing around unders, I think they would have already seen that or checked it out, but he could still possibly swing over there. They'd mollied off Firebox, but obviously he's able to, this player's going to be in a rush. If the bomb's planted here, he's going to be moving quick smart to try and stop that diffuser. So Taco probably has a bit of an advantage trying to get that bomb diffuser. Now obviously Fallen's out here with his AWP, and notice he was out wide, he wasn't holding it. Slim, he wanted to make sure to catch this player off here. He's able to just flick onto that guy, and he can clear out all this angle. So what's left? So Taco's got all these positions, Fallen's got all this. Sandwich obviously wasn't checked, but Bolt's running up to get the bomb. He's going to see this, so there's obviously a little bit of you're assuming a little bit that there's not going to be anyone here, and also here in this particular round, as Bolt's just kind of comes in here and sticks the bomb plant. Obviously this is a potential here. One thing you can do, Bolt's doesn't do it in this particular one, is just before he diffuses, you can just have a cheeky peek there, and obviously what I was saying about unders before, Bolts would have seen it running up here. So they're going to basically presume there was no one here. I mean, there's a little bit of a gamble involved. You see, even with Bolts coming up here, he's able to clear all these angles, and if he wanted to, maybe they're a little bit low on time in this situation, this player can just quickly check there's no one here, back off and defuse the bomb. Also, obviously, an option if they had one was just to smoke off the bomb, something they do, in which case it doesn't really change anything. Taco's still got his angle here, and Fallen's just going to be out slightly wider in this situation. Also, just quickly, obviously if two players do come out A main, Taco can just swing a little bit wider here, out this way to try and deal with this. Probably not swing back towards Fallen as they probably end up blocking each other. One final note is because they are so patient at middle is the reason they're allowed to do this. Imagine not clearing out middle in this situation. You've got two guys sitting at that triple box trying to clear this out, and then this fella peeks up connector, gets basically 2 easy kills here, and the bomb planter's sitting duck if he's fast enough. And this is exactly what KGB could have done. Obviously he would have just killed the bomb planter first because he doesn't peek out as far. So that's why it was so important to coldzera to deal with him, and just the timing, you see how precise it was. Taco and Fallen dealt with their players so quickly, and they'll both able to swing right here and deal with KGB. Basically everything about this retake, you can see how it all leads into each other. The setup to basically clear out everything, but then the way off or the payoff of having less time to take the retake on. And then because they're able to do this, they actually can afford to take less time because they have less angles to worry about, and they can be very confident in what they're doing. Then obviously this all comes down to timing and just coordination as a team, which obviously takes a lot of practice. That's it for this one, guys. If you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe and like this video. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.